extra edge that they can get.
Absolutely. Again, RRQ, one of the few teams in the Philippines that actually has that mental coach to help them get that reset. Since again, some of these players could be new to the competitive scene, could be younger players, as it were, and like at least that's, I think, one of the reasons how they were able to just bounce back. You know, get themselves that that ability to just not overly get pressured by the mistakes that they made in the start of VCT PH. Anyways, here's the charge in from Alter Ego. Nice use onto the smokes, gives them a good comfort zone to plant in that spike, and it's going to turn into just a full-blown retake here from RRQ. That being said, Tuge has set up the stars. They're going to have to start working their magic here. The TP out to clear out U-Haul, but the trade's actually still pretty fair as Delby and Rabbit have got into collision course. 4 versus 4 still. Actually, no, Nexi has found already axed Levia. The charge up from Adern King, although Draxi has hit him some nasty shots alongside Noxy, and Draxi the flash pops right out, but Noxy just too quick on the trigger. The 3K and the finalize.
Like I said, he's proficient in all levels, but using this fade, I feel like it's a little too, once again, to highlight the range, not as long as RQ would like, but Nexi doesn't care. He's already found himself here, but a free upgrade on the side of Delby is gonna help him and his team in these gunfights. But Tuge tries to back away. The trail is there, so there's really nowhere to hide. And a 4v2, too good for RQ.
Well, it started to recuperate just a little bit with Draxi and Rabbit able to hit the shots. Noxy and Adern King able to spread themselves out just a teeny tiny bit. There is that flash for contact, and Noxy just absolutely great shots all together. Where's the plan on the spike? It's on triple. Adern King gonna flash out. Draxi still holding. I don't think they know that he's actually still going for the defuse. He looks straight into Draxi, who's still hunkering down. You can see on the camera for Draxi. I like people with letter D's in their names.
I honestly don't know where you wanna go with this, but for your information too, then maybe that's why we're also casting partners. But that's for another story. But here we look at Adern King playing on a little bit of height, using that smoke actually to his benefit. But Kelly, yes, look at him go. A little bit cornered here. Does have a blast back as an option.
Oh no.
Or does he? No, he does not, as Delby will eliminate him. And Kelly, yes, still waiting for that egg to hatch. Not having the greatest of starts, but once again, the recovery for this team is something to, or rather to take note of. They do backpedal into the side, Asar, but they are getting absolutely lambasted by all these bullets. And what does RQ need to adjust with Draxi and Nexi? Once again, the Wonder Duo. They're here, but the options incredibly limited, and time not on their side.
Actually TP to B to hunt for anybody playing on the side. Trap will trigger on Noxy as he's going to TP back onto A. Look at the rest of RQ here. Even if they didn't hear the TP from Noxy or whatnot, they still have to play very far back as they need to save these weapons. Draxi able to at least keep the Vandal in hand, but the problem therein lies here, Raph. I think Alter Ego just incredibly fearless with how they've been fighting this. Might have needed to go for the flash there for Draxi, but Kush just, again, so far aggressive.
Hindsight, and there are only a few seconds left on the clock, but a fresh new round, a fresh new set of guns on the side of Alter Ego versus, and obviously limping RRQ.
Yeah, it's only Nexi on the Vandal too, and he's just hunkered down all the way through through B here. Correct me if I'm wrong, Raph, but these past 5 rounds has RRQ ever played like 4 on the site? Well, I'll let you answer that in a bit, because Kelly S is just about to swing on to Axe. Great initial shot. Draxi actually finds Delby here. And this aggressive take outside of Short has given them a little bit of leeway. The thing is, with the Nightfall coming in, it reduces so much of the HP of RRQ that even through a possible thrifty round by, it still is going to be quite difficult, especially with all those tags. The follow-up from Nexi and Draxi here as the Wonder Duo tries to go in for the 2 versus 1. Kush almost makes it. So, but
they changed up the pace now, so right? We talked about defaults They have plenty of them. But this is something that we've seen time and time again. A pretty standard hold, a pretty standard take. Trying to bait out the utility. Rabbit actually gets tagged up just a little bit by Noxy, who's been pretty reliable in this map and in general for Alter Ego.
Still is a mountain to climb here for RRQ. As even though they did win that round, Alter Ego, I think, again, still have the edge at this point. I think that was one of the rounds where, as you mentioned, RRQ really had to expend so much and really put their skills to the limit. The thing is, are they confident enough to keep doing that? Or, other than that, just let them take the side and play for the post. But the thing is, they've been playing retake every single time that it hasn't really netted them too much value. But we'll see how this goes. Seems like they felt that there was a little bit too much heat on A. Coming around the corner, Nexy needs to hit that shot. If he didn't, that would have been just absolutely horrendous. Rabbit! Oh no. The two-pronged approach on both Hookah and B-Long. And if that actually went through and didn't hit the corner, that might have actually blasted on one of the other players of RRQ, making it even more difficult for them to try to go for this retake. And they have to go for this retake. Save over rounds? No, thank you. Just go for the rounds, then the save. But they're dwindling down in numbers here, Raf.
You know, I'm actually surprised they didn't have anybody closer to Elbow to somewhat have a little bit of a cushion for Rabbit. Again, they kind of left him out to dry there. Tried to take long control early on. We saw that, a bit of a jiggle, but ultimately unsupported in the grand scheme of things. Kelly S and Duge, both wonderful players in their own right, but even in this type of situation, all they can really do is concede the round. Again, Alter Ego. What have they been doing right? What have they been doing differently is something that RQ have to figure out. So not impossible to overcome.
Yeah, we have seen some teams possibly come back on again second wind somewhere here, but with this massive of a round advantage, even if they do get a couple of round swings, it is going to be incredibly difficult to keep the momentum up since Alter Ego don't really tend to lose that much. Kelly S tempting himself to peek out of showers there, but fortunately for him, he's not going to overcommit to that. If they actually push for the A site, this could be a really good metric for RRQ since they've actually put Nexy here and Kelly S, who does have the showstopper in hand. So if this does go through that kind of play, he might be able to get one pick off with the showstopper. Unfortunately, though, he kind of overestimated. Getting hit by the Nightfall means that he took damage because of the ultimate, and then that was just a one-shot, one kill probably for Noxy.
So many things that could happen, so many things that should happen. We see the cosmic divide here. It is going to delay even just a tiny bit more. Noxy isolated, but so far nobody able to capitalize on that. Rabbit tries to push the tempo, tries to take control over Tribox. Once again, Alter Ego, they hold strong. Duge not getting any substantial distance with that defuse bar, but Rabbit suddenly, out of nowhere, from the shadows, he destroys. It has been cut down. Drax in a 1v1. Once again, it's not half. He has to hunt, he has to fight. But Axelovia
got the utility to make it feel like they have a solid defense. But right now, again, Alter Ego, this is just them having confidence peaks. This isn't even what you call ego peaking or anything. This is just them. Yeah, they're just absolutely hitting all the shots. Nexy able to bait out the position, but he's on an island here, Raf. One wrong move and he's done for. The Molly to actually clear him out. If ever Noxy didn't find him in the first place. But as dust settles, Alter Ego actually have less players to work with here and now. There is a 3-man flank coming in from RRQ. They need to do this faster because Rabbit is going to be alone by himself. He gets pushed on spawn here. This could actually mitigate the good flank that RRQ are looking to set up. The Haunt is active, coming in for the swing. If Kelly S makes some noise, this is going to be absolutely horrendous, but they're able to isolate Axelovia. Do they know that he is going to be in bench? Able to TP out, and now it's all in the hands of Delby.
Oh,
he's going to be chasing the kills here. Now it's a 1 versus 1. 2K hits the shot, and that is an absolutely beautiful flying coming in from RRQ.
We've talked about it, and the clutch Tuge, it's something that he's all too familiar with. Rarely buckles in these types of situations. But without the ultimates, they do have Cosmic Divide up very soon. But where did Kush come from? Finding Nexi, and that was the only ult they had in their pocket, readily available. They knew no theft. No thievery shall happen, but Rabbit is here on the trade. Noxy has been discovered. They've given up a little bit of map control. They're still going for the fight. And Kelly, yes, he's been absolute spray whisper. He gets 2. Rabbit chimes in to find Kush. And Axlovia tries to hold down this post plant. 1v4, but RQ, they're feeling it. And they are hitting their shots. They've come alive. Axlovia could potentially find 1 here. But we see the smoke, and Rabbit only needs 1 to take out Axlovia. Big 3K for him, and a big 4th round for RQ.
Big misplay there from Alter Ego as well. You saw Durn King actually flashing and options to work with when they try to do things like this. That being said, there's a throw on, as I mentioned, the util. Rabbit still going to be peeking through B long here, but Durn King has already given his position away on B long. The question now lies if Alter Ego are actually still going to fight this. You see RQ are actually very cautious about the reflash outside of B long, because again, that is where Sky turns into the absolute queen. If you're not careful and you're all like 4 stacking on midway through the angle, you could get just lined up and all blinded. RQ double back is actually not a bad idea, since they still do have the Haunt, or not the Haunt, but the Prowler available for Rabbit. Actually, the Haunt is right now also up, so they could just re-aggress and wait for the lineups and then start to move in. Yeah, that's a perfect use on the default line, but that's a shorty. Oh, yeah. One more shorty shot from Noxy. All right, one more.
Well,
it's still there. Able to TP out. Wow, it actually gets traded by a Durn King who hits the shots. Oh, this is not looking too good. It's only Nexi to remain. They just played RQ like a fiddle there, Raph. Imagine like Cypher writing that. Maybe that is Cypher's, like from his childhood, you know?
Why would it be there? Like, yes,
I don't know.
This is the random bicycle I have in a...
Bind is his city, right?
Yeah, but like... Okay, so if I were theoretically to visit your city and I found a bike, would I automatically assume this is probably Asterai's bike?
I mean, you don't know. Maybe his family worked here in this particular area and it's pretty safe. You can just leave your bike out hanging. And he just forgot it because he had to train to become, you know, a sentinel.
It can't be that safe. His wife and kids are dead, Asterai. Pay attention to the lore. But looking at this again, we go back to the game and a little bit of a lore dump on poor Cypher, who's died in every single cinematic to date.
The most recent one, no, though, I believe. So, you know, finally.
Oh, well, at least he catches a break. Now, he probably died off screen or something. But in any case,
yeah,
both Prowlers have been expended here. And like I said, right, RQ, they love... Oh, a little bit of tease with death there, flirting with the Grim Reaper himself. Oh, but they do spot the close angle. They might spam this out. Draxi even gets 2. The trade, once again, the speed betrays Alter Ego. But they are so quick on the opposite side as their back line moves a little forward. An open plan on the side of Tuget, deceiving Axlovia. And the Spectre can only do so much. It does tag them up, but here we have the beautiful recovery in Alter Ego. And they get the defuse with no qualms whatsoever.
You can't blame RRQ for that. That was a triple stack on Showers. Who does a triple stack on Showers? Usually it's just 2, right?
Potentially fast B take here. They try to take Hookah. There is a trap there on the side of Alter Ego, so Noxy is going to be alerted if ever his flag. Yeah, well, that's an interesting choice. Maybe potentially to bait out a shot, maybe to coax them into walking into that operator. And Kelly, yes, was the first victim of that bamboozle. Kush got that spray adjustment just in time. Nox even gets 2 GE. But Rabbit, so tagged up. Every single notifier and every single status effect is plaguing him as of the moment. Alter Ego looking very strong and potentially could take this map already. Because look how far apart Rabbit and Draxi are. They both have to cover considerable ground, and both sites not vulnerable at all. This could be a very Heraclean effort that they will attempt to pull off. But that's one bit of information that AE are going to use. But look at the patience, Asterai. They see that there's only 45 seconds left on the clock. One of them has to commit to this, and Rabbit is making so much noise. making too much noise as Delby gets knocked
Oh
out.
no!
Oh, and Axlavia, his timing might be off here.
30 seconds left.
Oh, no, don't do this to the man. And he waits patiently, he lines him up, and Draxi has no choice but to fight. 1v2, the teleporter is still an option for him. Does have that fault line and some tools in his back pocket, but no!
Defenders
Axe
win.
will not allow any such thing
About that
to close out
combination for the most part, because, you know, having the zoology comp works so much better for just clearing out certain positions here, especially on attack.
I do love Sky's petting zoo. Quite a bit, maybe a little too close for comfort for some. But I would say that the KO pick is something that I feel like, yes, we've seen it quite a bit. We've seen a number of teams employ it. But to be put on split, I feel like it's way more deliberate. I think they're banking on the fact that Rabbit loves to use that wall mainly to block out. I think it's mostly male. I think it's only in the later rounds where he starts putting it on A main. But Kelly, yes, waits for nobody. As well as 2GE fighting Delby and Noxy, who have been a bit of a plague on them in the last few rounds. But what a jumping right click. He only kills one, but the damage has been done. And 2v4, Dexy and Kelly, yes,
Scout destroyed.
not gonna have the healthiest of health pools. No regrowth on the side of 2GE, or at least momentarily, as Nexy is slowly getting topped up here.
Oh.
Adrian King, a bit of a mishap here to get really didn't need to do that. And maybe have potentially pulled away enough attention. Kush is making this comeback a little more doable. But still RRQ, they look mighty fantastic in this situation.
Yeah, just controlling a Durn King here, trying to rein him in. Fortunately, his bullets do dwindle to 0, so he can't really get the is really good because they got plant. They got so much economic damage onto Alter Ego, and that could help them out here as mid is looking to be such a deterrent here for Alter. Speaking of which, Nox has hit the shot. 3 are coming in through mid here, and they're gonna have to try to fight this tooth and nail as they spot him out way out into the open. Somehow, Durn King is hitting all the shots. The reload for Rabbit does not allow him to get that refrag. If he can get this kill, this will be absolutely perfect because this will give him the resurrection that he needs, but he's tempting fate a little bit too much. There is a teeny tiny angle for Rabbit to be shut down by a Durn King who's already somewhere deep on mid. Now he's very afraid of this flank coming in from Axlavia, and he just does not peek it in the end. He saw the noise being done by a Durn King, but this is just, oh. Yeah, Nexy's lurk very much spotted by Kush. Very easy for
pivotal moment for them as they could force Alter Ego to adjust their defense. They go for that quick take on A. Kelly, yes, this bot is not gonna go on that wire, but he does hear the sound step. Adrian King making his presence known. Crouching into the shots of Nexy, but Noxy on the other side will find one. And chaos ensues, pandemonium everywhere. Pandora's box opened by Delby, and all its horrors unleashed onto RRQ. They need the assistance of the gods right now, and Draxi from below takes Delby down. But Noxy being the last one to land that kill. I feel like having a judge on this map, although effective, but maybe before I can explain that Kelly is looking for the more explosive route. Suddenly gets no kills, doesn't even have the chance to pull out the paint shell. Axlavia says that this environment has already have its chars, and Delby gets even one. Adrian King chiming in. Where is Alter Ego coming from, and why isn't RQ responding? Duget getting corralled, getting absolutely demolished.
Here it is. RK's defense. How is it going to go? Oh, great flash though. That will stop a Durn King from peeking out aggressive onto mid. The wall trying to be prepped up by Rabbit here, but as the smoke actually be put by... Wait, whose smoke was that? Was that... I think that was Axe's smoke. As they try to get the cross on ropes, this is actually perfect because now this is not going to allow Rabbit for any vision whatsoever. He might be able to at least get a teeny bit of peek from them, but he's given them leeway because of that wall to just go straight up for the A side to get gotten the shot onto Kush. But somehow Alter Ego still want to fight for B. The Gnaw on Axe is going to make it very difficult for Alter Ego to get any form of control there, and they back away. But will they be able to spot out Kelly S? Trade still aplenty. One still holding the cross here again. And that is going to be Nexy, who's full blinded, and Noxy spots him out. Maybe this is still manageable. Maybe this is still good. As Delby holds on to heaven. Noxy plants a spike out into the open. placed at the back of the site. And Tuge, this is going to be crucial for him. His peek out, his lurk here on A main is going to be absolutely pivotal. Noxy hearing all of the information come in, but it's Tuge's lurk on A main that will give them that really strong round. Delby has got the nades here. He's out into the open, but he's missing the shots. This is going to be very difficult, but he does have that nade again to just soften up the blow. It's halved, but it's a 3 versus 1 as the round continues.
Dear, and I think they might just take this. Alter Ego can't really get anything going here. The frenzy is incredibly fickle, not loyal at all, but suddenly it comes. Rifles of choice are all Vandals. No variation there at all. And once again, they go for that suppress value, potentially trying to find Rabbit, stopping him from an early wall, or potentially stopping any ability to go through for that matter. But Noxy and the rest of the squad, the rest of the boys, they now dump quite a bit of utility here. That nade is not going to stop them, but instead force them out. A beautiful trap laid down by Nexy to find Delby. And a very, very timely frag. But Kush is like a thief in the night. They're all shoulder to shoulder here. What is separating them is only a thin line of smoke, dark cover. And now the tags up are coming. Kush gets one, but Draxi with a frenzy gets another. Axe love you and Noxy. Now they chime in. Draxi and Tuge, though, they steal it away and they get free upgrades in the process. The weapon still at hand for RQ. Very, very impressive. And the ultimates, not so present on both sides here as Tuge freshly used that Seekers very recently. Axelavia does have that that from the shadow, so if in any case anything goes wrong with that spike, they have the mobility. But now Prey is in the sights of Alter Ego. They stalk it carefully. Tuge may have exposed himself just a tiny bit, but Kush is an animal as he finds Rabbit, sinking his teeth. And obviously the horde is strong. Delby gets a trade, but RQ now taking control of this and potentially staring Alter
close. And as you mentioned, overtime is at the horizon. Ultimate has been used already, and they are running it down. Rabbit has a position to light it up. Double kill for Rabbit. All right, hold on. 2 versus 3. Delby looking to save a Durn King if need be. Kelly S has the lineup, and this is absolutely perfect. It's all down to Axelavia. No TP away from him. They doubled up. Kelly S and Nexy once again. Splash Brothers.
One enemy
Gonna peek him, and they win the round. They win the game, and we go to map number 3. Not the best, but not the worst. Either, you know? So we'll see how this goes. And by the best, I mean split.
Well, quite a bit of words being thrown around by us, and bullets even more so on the side of RRQ and Alter Ego, as a defensive rotation that is leading towards more of the flank is gonna give potentially back pain to Alter Ego, or rather RRQ, as they have made their way to the site. But check your 6, check your corners. Noxy finds Kelly as the trade does come out. Axelavia with a lot of love given, a little 2 more, rather 2 taps, 2 victims. Kush gets 1 too. And like we said, back pain could be the biggest problem for RRQ here. Left with 1 player is Draxi, but look how low Axelavia is. But how low can you go, apparently? Been threading the needle with those shots, Asteroid. Look at how fragile that health bar is.
He still popped 2, though, as he was down to fragile. Incorporate in that pistol, but regardless of what, he definitely dropped the ball without dealing with Axelavia there.
Whatever wafted over them has seemed to pass, but look at Alter Ego again. Hey, if it works, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, apparently, as they go for a massive flank yet again. Maybe potentially going around this trap. Nexy has taken matters into his own hands, into his own headhunter. The force buy is already panning out very, very well for RRQ. Now relegating all their energy into winning these gunfights as Axelavia and Noxy somewhat befuddled. What happened here? Flank is gone, and now Noxy has left Axelavia all alone. But he's sticking it! Oh my goodness, thievery! And Tuke calls the guards! But he's like, you know what, I'm a Noxy only operating on a stinger. He has to be very, very clever with how he's gonna approach this round.
Speaking of clever approaches, Kelly S now immediately just clearing out the outside of B here. Wants to peek for that info. The Durn King was just very much ready for that too. Thankfully, no damage onto Kelly here. as they back away once again. But I really do love the positioning for Noxy, because every single noise that they make on mid, he just hears if they're not like slow peeking it or anything. But as you can see with Alter Ego, they're very much spread to just do this, because they really do respect the movement and the force or the threat that RQ does bring. But it takes so much time to go back and forth from A side to B side, even through their own side of the spawn. And thankfully, the read is going to be correct. Delby, oh, that is just absolutely perfect. I thought that maybe they would have over-rotated to B, but I think just the slow thought push of RQ was the bait play there that allowed the 2K. Dirt King's already here, but doesn't want to go too aggressive.
Oh, wow.
Stinger from Noxy still gets the value. That is absolutely monstrous. Now we're down to Draxi. Nice little crossfire, but they got countered by Alter Egos straight as 4 players to remain. And Alter Ego, what a clean round.
Well, I don't think there's too much to discuss there. Again, they did walk into A, maybe potentially looking to pressure them, like you mentioned, needing our spike down. So that's a little. Now, with this bat in hand, Nexi looks to bonk the competition into submission. As Alter Ego, with the speedy pace that they've been exacting in the previous rounds, to have a more divide and conquer approach. Many strategies, much like this one, the open fortress. A popular Zhuge Liang strat, but Noxy will not fall for any wooden oxes being sent his way. Absolutely annihilating Kelly S. Once again, the tip of the spear broken, and Adrian King chipping it down even more so. The back line making this weapon, potentially reducing it to a stick. But a sharp piece of wood is still lethal apparently. Tuge finding a trade elsewhere on the map, giving them a little more room to wiggle, a little more room to move, as they hope to not fold in these types of situations.
Well, I hope they're gonna drive in that 6 feet Fiat. Well, been on some red wine would be nice, but Noxy shatters the glass, unfortunately. Does he want to push this? I mean, he can just wait for his teammates. Oh, there's already push for the swing. He goes in aggressive because he knew his teammate was there, but he doesn't even need it. Hits the shot with the headhunter into the headshot as well. And here's a little bit of a tidbit there, Raf. Swapping out to the headhunter rather than a secondary weapon is actually faster, and you pop your shot much faster, and you see that be well utilized by Nox.
Icebox has been the stuff of nightmares for them. What a beautiful pop flash on the side of Draxi. And now we have the Null Command yet again in play, but Delby, he will be silenced, but his impact will be felt for generations to come. And by that I mean some nasty shots going his way. And what can RRQ do again? Adrian King proves to be, well, yet another target for Nexi. Now Kush finally finishes off Draxi. An unofficial 3K there for Delby. Now, talking about threes, Nexi needs to make a splash. Because look at Alter Ego, man. So many weapons, so much time. He didn't even have to put it between the eyes. And it looks like it's gonna be a mercy. They look to go and march towards A.
There's already like a 2-man control on pipes here. As Nexi's already looking for that peek out. Had to immediately TP as he didn't get that first headshot. Actually took some damage against Noxy right now. And Kelly S. Did he prime his dash already? No, actually he didn't. So he still does have it available for him. Oh, this is going to be very crucial. He's about to hit the swing onto Noxy right now. I think Adern King was actually able to spot the little bit of a jiggle. They're actually very much prepared for it, and Noxy still gets away with murder! Oh no, Raf. The trade actually went into the favor of Alter Ego. And they tuck tail and run straight to the A side, where as you can see, Delby is already very much prepared to start getting that that push in. Kush, Recon Dart in hand. That blade spotted nothing on yellow, so this is perfect. But this is a really good setup from Tuga. This just stops him from coming right in, but I mean, they're not gonna push that snake bite of his, right? So I have no idea why he had no eyes on yellow. It's all down right now to Nexi, but he's only good for the one shot.
Dear me, as we still move on to yet another round. Tensions rising, and RRQ potentially realizing how much they have at stake to lose, really, as the Spectres desperation, Asterai. They have to dream, believe, survive. And just to go back on the word desperation, it demands perfection. And still a few shots being rung through here. Rabbit looking to find some value with this Guardian, the only long-range tool that they have in the bag, and next he finds an over-eager Kush, maybe foaming at the mouth. And Rabbit, he comes alive. He becomes the Predator, and Axe Love You, the unfortunate prey. Noxy. Oh, so Moxie finds Tuge.
No.
Rabbit, his rampage could potentially be over as he jiggles, as he hits the shoulder peaks, but Delby hasn't found the right idea, and Kelly, yes, with the Spectre from downtown. They managed to stay alive, Asterai, but is it the only limit that they can break? No, apparently not. Noxy, potentially with that silver hair, could potentially go Ultra Instinct here. But Rabbit, like a lesson from
the time to set it up where both of these abilities were already active elsewhere. Delby. Oh my god, the Rabbit didn't even know what hit him. Probably didn't even see where his opponent was coming from, but Kelly S, though, right on top, raised from up above. Huge shots to connect, triple for Kelly, and Kush somehow survives. He was telepathically talking with his teammates, what's happening, but he reacts in the nick of time. Still, though, Delby has the blades. He's pretty deadly with this. And Kush with the operator. It's not only Delby or Noxy that can bring out the sniper in hand, it's also this man right here. Had to pick up the spike. One big flank from Tuge. Do they know? Are they aware? But Kush is hitting some mad shots right now. Tuge and Kush to remain. Lifeline, or life on the line. He's so low. He has so much utility. And Tuge doesn't really have to do anything other than sprint for his opponent. He didn't even see him! Tuge, no!
A tragedy! A calamity! Oh my goodness! The last breath has been drawn.